Good morning. It's Thursday, April 21st, 2016. I'm Candace Ray. Let's get straight to the weather with meteorologist Riley Hill.
A few showers out there this morning, but luckily they're getting out of here fairly quickly. And we're seeing the last of those showers push through the northern parts of the Delta. And we should stay just partly cloudy for the majority of our Thursday, but a few showers working their way in back by this evening. All of that full forecast in just a little bit.
Well, a WXVT exclusive. A man in Greenwood is in trouble with the law after he posted a picture on Facebook. Well, reporter Denise Turner has the story.
Grabbed him leaving the hotel with a woman who is known or who is alleged to be a prostitute.
Jelani Barr says he posted a photograph of an off-duty officer leaving an area motel. He claims the establishment is known around town as the place to go to purchase sex or drugs.
I posted the photograph of him, although that someone else photographed it. And yeah, now this.
Since posting the picture, Barr says his life has been turned upside down. He's been arrested and charged with a non-specific felony, a charge his attorney says he's never even heard of. Barr claims Greenwood police are violating his First Amendment rights.
I asked him what was I charged with, and he basically couldn't say. He says, you're charged with computer crimes. And I was like, well, you know, that's not the charge, so that's actually the title of the chapter.
Now he wants the officer in the picture he's accusing of soliciting a prostitute investigated for his alleged crime.
I'm not alleging he's just having an affair. I'm alleging that there's a criminal act that took place, that he paid money for sexual favors.
We were able to catch up with LaFleur County Sheriff Ricky Banks, whose department is handling the case. Banks tells us the officer was off duty, so he doesn't think he did anything wrong. Banks also tells us the case could possibly fall under a fairly new cybercrime law. But the question is, are all Facebook posts protected by a citizen's First Amendment right? Or, as we're being told by law enforcement, could cryptic posts fall under a cybercrime? We caught up with a local attorney who explains the law and how it works.
Would not apply to a peaceable, nonviolent, or non-threatening activity intended to express political views or to provide lawful information to others. That's protected by First Amendment. Outside of that definition that I just gave, no way First Amendment is going to prevail on a cybercrime.
According to Mississippi statutes, a cybercrime is a crime using devices that transmit information electronically via computers, fax machines, video machines, or cell phones. Last year alone, the Mississippi Attorney General's Office Cybercrimes Unit opened 121 new cases with 21 convictions. Nick Crawford of Nick Crawford Law Firm says cases with convictions have hefty punishments.
Felony. You've got felonies and you've got misdemeanors, and they're punishable anywhere from 2 to 5 years imprisonment, $5,000 to $10,000 in fines. Misdemeanors are punished by $250, no less than 10 days, and up to a year in prison.
Crawford says this silent crime is becoming more prominent because it destroys lives.
People need to be educated on this type crime. These people sitting behind these computers, and all they got to do is press a few keys and a few buttons to destroy somebody's reputation, destroy somebody's privacy, needs to be stopped.
But this case against Barr and the unnamed officer has not been tried, so we cannot be certain which direction the judge will rule in. We will continue to follow this story and its developments. For now, reporting in Greenville, Denise Turner, WXVT, your Delta News.
An apartment building is damaged after it accidentally goes up in flames. The fire happened Tuesday night in the 300 block of West Alexander Street in Greenville. When firefighters arrived, they saw light smoke coming from the building. Crews worked quickly to put out the fire in the bathroom. An investigation shows the fire was actually caused by an electrical wall heater. Authorities say a picture hanging in front of the heater caught fire and fell on the floor. No injuries were reported. Another fire happened earlier yesterday morning at a house located in the 100 block of Hyman Street in Greenville. When firefighters arrived, they saw heavy flames coming from the house. It took firefighters about 10 minutes to put out the blaze in the bedroom and hallway. No injuries were reported, but the home is left with heavy smoke and water damage. Authorities say the fire appears to be suspicious and is currently under investigation. A Clarksdale police officer who was shot in the face is back at home in DeSoto County. Corporal Derek Couch left the hospital Wednesday. He was hospitalized after getting shot in February while responding to an armed robbery call. Where Couch lost an eye and suffered brain damage from the shooting. Reporter Caitlin Alexander has more from Memphis.
And I personally read every single letter to him that comes in from California, New Mexico, Vermont, Virginia, everywhere around the world. We are forever grateful for the prayers, the contributions, the words of encouragement.
Encouragement, the Clarksdale Police Corporal Derek Couch is a hero, a title that after 67 days of treatment and rehab, Couch agrees with.
I guess the truth.
The truth.
I guess that was too true.
Couch and his wife Renita are finally heading home from Regional Medical Center tomorrow. He's lost part of his skull and his left eye. His days have been filled with speech, occupational, and physical therapy, where his movement is coming along. Renita says that even though his right side was affected, he's able to walk with a cane. His speech is improving too.
I can see the frustration with him sometimes because when you're used to doing something, got to relearn it over. I tell him to say, I say one word and he'll finish it. I say, the joy of the Lord is my strength.
The Couch's faith and each other have gotten them to this point. She never believed a bullet could take her husband from her.
I just was being a wife and being there for him, like I normally am.
The couple looks forward to returning home, eager for life to quiet down, not before thanking the community that prayed for its hero.
Thank you. Thank you for all your support.
House Bill 1523 continues to make headlines this early morning after Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant signed the bill into law. The measure, as we all know, allows religious groups and private businesses to refuse service to lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people based all on religious beliefs. Well, the Biloxi City Council is taking a stand against the so-called Religious Accommodations Act. Reporter Hugh Keaton has the details.
Jesus says to love your neighbor. Jesus also did not turn anyone away, nor does he teach us to. And Biloxi is based on diversity, and we will continue to do so, in my opinion.
Showing overwhelming support for Mayor Gillich's resolution calling for the repeal of House Bill 1523, the City Council voted 6-0 in favor of the mayor's proposal.
For the good of Mississippi, for the good of Biloxi, we had to make this statement because economically, it just goes against our grain. And I think reasonable people will understand our position.
The council's position doesn't come without opposition. This Biloxi resident expressed his disapproval.
I read nothing in the bill that allows discrimination, and I think for the city to pass a resolution that implies that somehow we do is a bit irresponsible.
Councilman Robert Deming chose not to take a stance on the issue and was the only council member who didn't vote on the resolution.
I definitely agree with our commitment to diversity and hospitality. I disagree in condemning the governor or the language in the resolution.
What to death do us part. The state of Mississippi will not add domestic violence as a reason for divorce. The House passed the final version of the Senate Bill 2418, but it later died in the Senate. Well, the measure would have allowed married couples to divorce due to domestic violence. The state will retain 12 grounds for divorce, and that includes adultery, habitual drunkenness, and incurable mental illness. And Senate Bill 2169 is headed to Governor Phil Bryant's desk. The bill would make it illegal to grow, possess, sell, or traffic the synthetic marijuana. It would classify synthetic marijuana in the same category of controlled substances as real marijuana, but set lesser penalties for the synthetic version. And if you didn't know, April 20th marks an unofficial holiday known as National Weed Day. Well, 420 is a day where people celebrate cannabis culture. Every year, separate events are held across the country. On April 20th at 4:20 p.m., hundreds of people attend festivals and parks and venues from San Francisco, California, all the way to Atlanta, Georgia. Well, here in the state of Mississippi, it is considered illegal to smoke or consume marijuana. Local police are consistently on the lookout for lawbreakers. If you're caught with weed, you could potentially pay a pricey fine or end up in jail. A special guest visits students at Northview Summer School in Greenwood, where Merle Temple has worked for the FBI and the Mississippi Bureau of Narcotics. He's recently wrote 3 books as part of a trilogy titled A Ghostly Shade of Pale, A Rented World, and The Redeemed. Temple is originally from Tupelo, Mississippi. He says he's visiting students in the Magnolia State to talk about Southern life, Hollywood, and his experience in law and politics. Very interesting background and story. Will you be able to get all of that in today?
Well, I hope so. All the way from Ole Miss in the early days and going into the first drug wars as an agent, later into the corporate world and high-level politics, and now as an author and going to Hollywood. And I hope so, to talk to the kids, inspire them, to tell them, what matters in life and what really doesn't.
As part of the campus visit, students had the opportunity to enjoy a question and answer session. To purchase a signed copy or to learn more about the book, visit merletemple.com. That website is shown right there on your screen, and we will be right back after the break.